What's good, everybody? I'm TJB, and welcome back to my Saturday Specials beat making series. So today I've got this little 80s pop record. It's very Vice City, very Miami sounding. I got a sample on here. I'm going to record all the way pitched down. I think I might be able to make something a little bit more cloud rap sounding. Just looking to make something more on the slow side today. Also, real quick before I get into the beat, be sure to like and subscribe and let me know what you think of the beat in the comments. If you like these videos, all my music is available on streaming. I got a link to my website available in the description and a pinned comment in the comments. I also have a new instrumental album coming out soon. The pre-save link is also available in that same link on my website. Pre-save would be really appreciated. And with that, I'm gonna throw this record on and see what we come up with. Okay, samples recorded in. There's a couple very specific sections I want to use, and more specifically, there's this background vocal I want to see if I can solo it out and base the beat around that from there, add some drums and maybe an 808. But first, let's slice it and see what we can actually do with it. Okay, got the sample sliced now. There's a couple different ideas I have. Right now I'm thinking I'm just going to lay down a simple chop using some of the really early notes that came in the intro. And then I think I'm going to try to loop this little 4-bar section and then bounce that as an audio file, bring it back in the MPC, and then try to separate out the stem so I get the vocal, bring those two melodic elements together. Hopefully it turns out all right. We'll see. Okay, got the loop recorded in. Let's see if we can pick it apart a little bit. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, I don't think that worked out how I wanted it to. It was worth a shot. I guess we could probably use some onboard synths instead to replicate that. Would have been cool to use the sample on top of itself, but if that happens. I think we might have something with this ping pong effect on one of these sample slices. Okay, it's a good start. Next step is add some drums. I think I definitely want to stick with some more 80s sounding percussion. It's a nice kick. Alright, found some very reverby snares. I think they fit pretty well with the sample. some effects to the sample notes. Probably chorus. Okay, that added some color to it. I did a chorus, a vintage compressor, a mother ducker, and I stretched out the stereo width. I like that. It's got like a little of a detuned feel to it. It sounds nice. I want a cymbal. I'm gonna want a delay on this cymbal. I want a reverse cymbal that's basically an open hi-hat. Okay, so for this reverse cymbal, I edited the drum program so it was note on rather than a one shot. This pretty much means that when I was recording in the sound into the drum loop, the pad was based on when I held it rather just when I tapped it, and that gave me the cutoff I was looking for. I just want a little bit of reverb. Okay, reverb sounds nice. I think the next step is we're gonna add an 808. Transpose this up a few notes. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Kept it pretty simple for the 808. Didn't want anything too complicated or aggressive, minus the actual sample. But it's a pretty deep bass again. Probably added some effects, maybe a distortion, maybe a chorus to kind of bring up the high end a little bit. Alright, that's better. Added a compressor, a chorus, and a distortion. The goal isn't for it to be heard on iPhone speakers or anything like that, but it would be nice if it would help a little bit. Hopefully it does. Alright, so I think now I'm going to add in a little choir synth to kind of make up for what I failed to be able to do earlier with soloing out the vocals from the sample I was looking for. So to do that, I got this little preset on the Mellotron onboard synth I got on my MPC. Keeping it simple, just mirroring the bass notes that were in the sample we had. And I think the synth sounds a little too clean right now. I'm gonna try to add some effects to dirty it up a little. Filtered out some of the high-end frequencies, adjusted the stereo width, and added a little lo-fi effect to make it sound a little bit more raw on the beat. I wonder if there's just one more instrument we can add to this. Synth being in there. there. And I think with that we have a beat now. I was aiming for something a lot more on the slow side, and I think I did that, which is nice. Basically just a 2-bar loop. Started with the sample, found 2 very simple slices that I laid down into a 4-bar loop. I added a ping pong effect to the sample. Adding that effect let me stretch out the slice a lot farther than it was originally, and it let me keep each note on its own whole bar, which kind of helped with the fluidity of it all. I added a bunch of other effects, and then after I did that, I laid down some drums. Trying to stay away from using a hi-hat on this one. It's very difficult, but it's really simple. It's just kick, couple snares, and 2 cymbals, one being reversed. And after the drums, laid down a very simple 808, found a very deep bass sample to use, and laid down some very simple notes. The next piece was adding that little choir synth. This replaced the attempt I made to have that beat from the original sample, but I think it probably turned out better this way anyway. The last piece of the beat was adding a little pluck synth. Gave it a little quarter note delay, and I like how that stretched out over the course of the loop. I think once I throw this in Ableton, I'll be able to mess with some of the EQing to kind of get more mileage out of each track. But anyway, I like how this turned out. Came off a lot more slow, a lot more cloud rap soundy. It was fun. Haven't really made a beat like this in a very long time. Definitely not for this series, so that was nice to do. But anyway, I'm going to throw this in Ableton and get it arranged. If you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you think of the beat. Again, if you like these beats and the music I make, all of my music's available on streaming. You can find a link to my website in the description and a pinned comment in the comments. Another reminder that I do have an instrumental album coming out soon. You can find the pre-save link also on my website. Again, really appreciate it if you made it this far, and I'll catch you in the next one.